After 2 years' exile in Liberia, these Ivorians await final clearance to return home. There are nearly 400 of them, all of them glad to be back in Ivory Coast.
I'm back in my Ivorian homeland. I'm happy. I'm very happy. When we crossed the bridge, I felt safe.
Safety has been the #1 issue for those who fled Ivory Coast conflict 2 years ago. As they get off the trucks, there are smiles all round. The UN hopes these smiling faces will tempt others to return home.
We're going to send a few of you back to Liberia to explain to those who are still there and who doubt that the country is doing well, that they too should return home.
The UN will meet the most immediate needs of these refugees who face starting over from scratch.
Many farmers have lost their plantations, their homes have been destroyed. It's going to be really difficult for all these people to live here.
Refugees like Four and Bertin returned to discover a member of Burkina Faso's Mossi people working the fields that they used to own.
Our neighbours took our forest and sold it to Mossi people, and when we arrived we weren't even allowed to camp here.
Here, coffee's been replaced by cocoa. For these farmers, the field was their only source of income.
We need the NGOs to give us something to eat. Without that, we'll starve. Because if the camp is occupied by foreigners, what can we do? This will be the end of us.
Nearby, a group of Burkinabe workers have set up their camp.
They're building a camp on our plot of land.
Sent by the field's new owner to cultivate the land, the workers have settled here with their children. They, at least, are unaware of the controversy.
They are not responsible for what's happened, but the courts, the police, and even the village chiefs say that the area doesn't belong to their guardians. If they want to stay, it's going to create complications.
Since the end of the country's crisis, many have sought to get their hands on fertile land like this. Armed gangs have even seized protected forests. Local authorities have sought to resolve many of these land disputes. This woman fled the fighting, leaving her fields in the hands of 2 Burkinabe workers. When she returned, there were 14 of them. With the mass return of refugees, this kind of conflict is set to become more frequent.
Steps are being taken to deal with these problems. This is mainly to avoid conflict, even conflict between members of the same family.
60,000 Ivorians are still on the other side of the border. Most are landowners, eager to rebuild their lives back home.